Hello, this is Andy Green and lecturing to you as part of the Introduction to Public Relations and Advertising module. In our lecture 2, we're covering the subject of the client and the different types of client. Today we'll give you an understanding about the different types of communications campaigns and a beginning on this journey of understanding about objectives behind communications and how to create them, and really highlight the point about whatever you're doing in communications, you're in the business of managing relationships, so a starting point there in developing your skills in this area. So we'll be looking at different types of clients, meaning different types of advertising, communication or public relations. So as an exercise, choose any item on your desk. Could be a pen, paper, anything. How did it get to you? Who did you buy it from? Where did they buy it from? And where did they buy the resources and raw materials to make it? So you recognise that in any product or service there is a supply chain, and different stages of that supply chain will need to do different types of communication to influence or persuade others to get to you. So just think about it, choose any item and just go on that journey, explore how did it get to you, who did you buy it from, where did you buy it from, and where did you buy the resources. Pause the video and then join us again after you've done this exercise. So different types of advertising and PR often use the abbreviation of B2C, which is business to consumer, B2B, business to business. Other B2B campaigns might be trade or professional or recruitment. B2C and B2B might be in direct response. If you're selling things to consumers, B2C in retail, again might be mixed business to consumer and business to business in directory advertising. And local classified as advertising is typically a business to consumer. So get your head around these two profound distinctions in different types of campaigns, and that in doing a campaign there may be three different dimensions. There might be a corporate, brand or product advertising. So corporations can have brands and brands can have products. So think of corporations like Procter & Gamble, Unilever, Mondelez. Corporations can be brands, think of Apple or Samsung. And corporate advertising attempts to enhance the image of the corporation as a whole. Brand advertising seeks to enhance and differentiate the image of the brand, create emotional engagements. And product advertising tries to promote specific benefits of the product and service. Let's have a look at a few specific examples here. So think of Procter & Gamble, and it does major corporate campaigns to position itself as a serious global considerate good citizen, good organisation. The totality is not selling a specific product, not promoting an individual brand. It's very much often a corporate advertising. Think then if you're sort of promoting a brand, so example here of Pantene, the shampoo, and you see here it's not just a picture of the products, although the products are featured, but you can see images of associations, themes of beauty, themes of style and fashion. So you can see that you're projecting not just the product benefit, but also images associated with the project. And then lastly, you might be then sort of looking to shift product. So here a great example of a product ad where you focus on selling the product and there is an incentive to buy or to the product in a specific time frame. Okay, so corporate advertising can enhance the image of a corporation, often aimed at suppliers, employees, governments, regulators, investors, and sometimes consumers, what we will begin to call in public relations stakeholders, typically dominated by, say, print advertising. So think of quality journals like the Financial Times, Economist, Sunday Times, but can also include television and cinema. You think, they sponsor the Olympics. Why would a corporation want to sponsor the Olympics? For example, Gazprom sponsoring the Champions League. They're not in the business of doing sports, but you can see there that there's a major investment in the image that these sponsorships would provide them. Also, cause-related advertising, or what's CSR, what's called corporate social responsibility, becoming more significant. So, for example, Marks and Spencer's doing computers for schools initiatives. Again, example of corporate advertising, organisation makes a mistake and product recall, and again, it's not promoting the brand, the product, but promoting a good image for the corporation. Here's a BAE Systems. You're not likely to sort of see an advert and buy a tank, but you can see they're part of the image branding, corporate and brand building there of a corporation. So you then see sort of brands doing activities. So example here of a beauty product becoming the first major skincare brand to trial refillable packs. So you can see here that what you got is an example of trying to promote the image and reputation of the organisation as opposed to specifically selling a product. So brand advertising builds a brand rather than directly tries to sell a product or service. Often referred to as a top-down approach, that brand goodwill will trickle down to the products, and is seeking long as well as short-term effects, and is much more fertile and creative, is often focused on emotional factors, how the brand makes you feel. But the danger is sometimes, unless it's done effectively, it can become divorced from product sales almost as an end in its own right. So I urge you to check out the Cadbury's Gorilla advert. Please pause here, check out this film. Great example of some great creativity. Not directly sort of, you think, selling chocolate. So again, how does that make you feel about the brand and what it stands for, what it represents? Okay, when you watch that, then resume the lecture here. So an exercise: can you find your own examples of corporate advertising, brand advertising, product advertising? How are they different? What do you like or dislike about them? Pause the video, explore this question, and then restart again. So another dimension is on charity advertising and public relations. And here you can see twin objectives. Firstly, to raise awareness so people know of the name, the information about the cause and know its work, but critically also about raising funds, because without funds they're not able to do their work they seek to do. So it can often be very creatively hard-hitting and graphic, and can be shocking. There's a question, a big debate, which we'll be exploring in our lectures about can shock and be effective as well. And it's about also events. So you think of major events like Movember, creating engagement with charity and fundraising activity. So again, great opportunity for some creative, and you'll find certainly ad agencies and PR agencies will probably can offer very reduced rates, or even what's called pro bono, where they do work for free, because they know that it gives them a chance to make creative, impactful, outstanding ads, potentially award-winning, and therefore it's not been given the normal economic or commercial considerations that they would do for a commercial client, and willing to do it either low cost and say sometimes at no cost. Again, drama, impact. You can achieve far more with a charity campaign than maybe under the constraints of a mainstream consumer product. So you can see here that in terms of charities, they can often be major corporations in their own right, with major income, major numbers of employees, and as I say, so therefore major brands, major corporations, as well as got product to sell in getting fundraising income. So, and also moving on to sort of government advertising, PR. Governments use advertising to promote messages, can be on health, transport, education or defence. So you can see here an example of the British government, ranging from public health alerts to advancing the interest of government services, as well as maybe more general, say, social well-being campaigns. So find examples of charity advertising, and find different examples of charity advertising that are corporate, brand or product. How are they different? Again, explore what you like or dislike. Please stop the video, explore these questions, and then start again when finished. So we're moving on then to the subject of political advertising and PR. So it's a very long history of political advertising. It faces strong legal constraints, heavily restricted, certainly in the UK. Not subject to the Advertising Standards Authority there, which again we'll be exploring during the module. Campaigning organisations, NGOs, non-government organisations can also advertise. A classic example here in an election campaign, Conservative in 1979, time of growing unemployment. An image there, Labour isn't working, with a long queue at a dole office. Very, very powerful, very, very iconic piece of advertising from the Saatchi & Saatchi advertising agency. So, again, more recent times, the current Prime Minister of Great Britain often featured, say, in both PR and advertising activity, both to promote a political message, promote their role in a government role, or to promote specific actions. So, again, quite widespread, quite evident. So, again, please, another question here. Find your own examples of political advertising. Find different examples that are corporate, brand, product. How they're different, what do you like or dislike, and when you've finished exploring this, restart the video. A further dimension of advertising is what's called recruitment advertising, or PR. Very long tradition, historically a major source of income for the media particularly, where recruitment ads, if you want to find a new employee, how do you go about it? You put an advert out there and as I say, advertising the post and hopefully attracting the right candidate. Let's say in recent times, major sort of publications like the Sunday Times and Telegraph in the UK will have 20-page supplements just of jobs. This, however, has been effectively killed by the internet, where, as I say, very much a dominant source there for recruitment advertising. Government still continues to be a major advertiser, but as I say, major impact for the media titles through digital technology, where it's far easier to advertise a job and people can get a download an application form in one instant rather than multi-stages through applying for a traditional media ad. Some famous examples of almost like corporate and recruitment campaigns. Britain during World War I, the famous face of Lord Kitchener recruiting wanting soldiers. Your country wants you. In the United States, Uncle Sam, I want you. So again, images there of advertising, getting a message over about recruitment. Traditionally in mainstream, as I say, you've got the task there of gaining attention, interest, desire and action, and again you can see there's still great scope for creativity to get attention and interest in your message. And as I say, so a wide range of outlets in campaigns to promote employment opportunities. So again, last question on this different types of advertising. Find your own examples of recruitment advertising. Find different examples that are corporate, brand, product. How are they different? And what do you like or dislike? When you've done this, restart the video. So critically, in working in communications, you might be in-house or in an agency. Critical, you have to work with other people. And a critical discipline is about how you manage relationships. And it's going to be an important strand of this module, which will be developing your skills and abilities and capabilities in. And the lesson is, the more you know about yourself and the person you're seeking to work with, the more potentially you can be successful. So we're inviting you to do a psychological profile. So it's a long-used tool in many areas, including human resources, as well as in communications. Now technology is making the job easier. So please visit the website crystalknows.com. There you will find that an opportunity to complete a free online survey. Just click on the Get Started Free button on top right of the home page. You will need to register on the site to enable you to do the free online survey. We shouldn't just put your name, email address and set up an account. There's no financial obligation, no financial commitment, and it's a reputable site. And so do this, get started, follow the instructions, do the survey, and then it will then complete the survey and download your survey results and bring them to Monday's class, where we're going to be exploring this tool and about relationships and building upon this. I share with you the first page of my survey. So I completed a survey, and my survey, Andy tends to be animated and social, often prefer to work in a group rather than alone, is likely to share new ideas and advocate for change when needed. His confidence and charisma can help him effectively motivate others. I do like that. Okay, so each of us are different. There's no right or wrong profile. Different profiles have different qualities, different strengths for different occasions. So please don't worry if your profile is completely different to mine. I'd be very worried if it was any similar to me. So please do the profile survey, and we'll then explore how you can use this in terms of knowing yourself and managing relationships with others around you. So, in summary of our lecture today, practically every type of organisation makes use of advertising. At its simplest, advertising designed to affect how you think, feel and behave. Public relations works to build relationships, reputation and trust. The biggest spend is in the consumer market, particularly on brands, products and services. Trade channels, again, think back to that exercise of how did something get to you. You bought it off someone had to sell that to you, someone had to sell to them. So trade channels are very important source of advertising, and as I say, both business to consumer and business to business. And we're now witnessing also combinations, mixtures of digital media combined with like pre-digital, traditional non-digital media mix. So today, really just an introduction to understanding the different types of communications campaigns. Begin to recognise about how they will have different objectives behind them, and that you're in the business of managing relationships. So hopefully today, just session there, exploring the questions, we've got you on your journey to make progress there, and see you next week there. Okay, so